Rolling.
Okay, so I got the Craftsman mud mower going. I did find out this is actually a GT6000. It says it right up front in the very front. You can show them right there in the very front. See it?
Yep.
So I didn't know what to call it, but it is actually a GT6000. So the engine ended up being bad. Somebody left a spark plug out and everything, and so I got lucky and I found this guy on Facebook Marketplace. What I had in there was an 18 horsepower opposed twin, and now I got a 20 horsepower, probably exactly the same engine. I don't have all of the controls and everything figured out. Plus, I'm, you know, what I mean by figured out is operational. And also, I'm having an issue with, it seems like it's running out of fuel. So I got to play with the choke and stuff like that a little bit. I tore the fuel pump apart, and it seems fine. But anyway, so I'm having to do stuff like this. Ta-da! When I get all the bugs worked out, it'll be great. I still have the original pulleys on it, so that's that. All right, you can cut it. Thanks, man. Hey, Louie. So here we are. Hey, Louie. Hey, Louie. Oh, no, get down. Go on. Get out here. Okay, so this right here is the fuel pump. And so inside, there we go. Since I got two motors, right there's the old motor. Or I should say engine, shouldn't I? This is it. Very similar to a carburetor setup. So there's a spring. It's missing somewhere here in the dirt. There's a spring that goes under here. And through here, this goes to your valve cover. And you get pulse from that. And it blows this in and out, in and out, in and out. And there's a couple little, I guess you would call them valves right there. So right here, it's going to your valve cover or your crankcase or something like that. I think it's actually, look at that, it's to the crankcase, isn't it? So this is your impulse line. And it moves that diaphragm back and forth, right? And this is your fuel line. We have fuel all the way in this. Right? You can see there's an air bubble up there. All right, so we're getting fuel to it, but whenever it warms up, it seems like it's too lean, and because every time I pull the choke out, it revives it and it starts to want to run again. It's not, I wouldn't say it's surging. It's like, well, maybe I just need to take that carburetor apart and clean it. You know, it just seems like there's maybe a little bit of particle of crap that's floating around, and it's periodically going into my jet and clogging it up. And I pull the choke out, and that richens it up, and so it keeps on running then. But the engine's bang up. It runs real good. I didn't have that problem at all until I started riding it and started shaking things around. You know how it is. But it'll fire up and idles just perfect. There's no real ticking. Definitely ain't no knocking. You know. So I'm happy with the engine. The guy was wanting to sell the entire garden tractor. I think it was a Murray. I think it was. But it had some hydrostatic, like it was like an in-between hydrostatic and manual transmission. It was weird. But I didn't want anything to do with that. And so I was just like, hey man, I'll give you $100 for the engine. And he's like, okay. And we took it off together. And I put it on yesterday, and then I fiddled with it again today just a little bit. But next step, I guess I'll probably go ahead and clean that carburetor up, and hopefully that gets it to run right. And get all the controls working good so that, number one, it charges the battery. Number two, I can start it with a key or with a button or something like that. Get all that stuff going right. And I'll have to order the pulley. I went to Tractor Supply. They didn't have the pulley that I needed. At first, at least, I think I'm going to just stick with the front pulley on the engine itself, because that's supposed to be able to get me about 10 or 12 miles per hour. We'll see how that goes. If I need more speed than that, then I can address the rear. But pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm having fun with this thing, and that's what it's all about. Just having some fun. All right, yeah, more to come on this guy. There was other differences too. I might as well go ahead and throw them out there in this video. This 20 horsepower engine is, so I guess they're not exactly the same, but it is a pressurized oil pump system. So it means I got a filter and everything. Well, the other one did not have that, and so you can see right off the bat, I had to notch out this frame right here to get it to sit. Clearly, I went too far, but oh well. So I had to notch out that frame right there so that these would have a place to go. Also, the muffler setup was slightly different. The other one had the exhaust coming out down here, and it just was hitting. It just was hitting. So I just took the muffler off of the old engine and swapped it over on this one. So it appears to be almost identically the same engine, but there are little differences, and you gotta work around that stuff. You know, gotta work around it. So I need to get some tires for this bad boy, make it look cool, make it go better. But I already had fun. It goes, I mean, it doesn't go good, but it does all right. It'll climb a hill. You saw, you know, it'll climb a hill. Even with those, I mean, these tires, you know, they're meant to not disturb the ground. That's what that's the purpose of them. And so they don't grip very well or anything like that. But it still goes pretty good. I can't wait to get some real ATV tires on there and actually get it geared up right and have some fun with it. That's going to be cool. Later. Oh, let me know in the comments if you like this. Let me know if you don't.